Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Doc and Queenie Facebook Live at high noon. Hi, Queenie.
Hi, Doc. Oh my gosh. I mean, seriously, if Mondays could be any more fun, I wouldn't actually know what to do.
I have no comment on that today. I do not like my website platform right now.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. And I know that cyber frustration is probably the worst frustration in the world because when I push a button, I expect whatever I pushed to get there. And
Not delete everything? Yes.
yes, I know. And just to give you an example, for real, 2 hours ago, I was doing a posting party for another group.
Okay.
To help, love the team, everybody's great, fun. So the host of the event gave me screen share. So I went to screen share LinkedIn to show the folks how to do the stuff we were talking about, and it says no LinkedIn available. And I was like, what? I'm looking on my phone. LinkedIn's working perfectly. My account is there, but my internet on my computer doesn't recognize LinkedIn. It recognized Zoom and it apparently liked Facebook, but it said, no, LinkedIn's not available. And I'm looking it on my phone. So I thought, all right, so we are not going to do a screen share right now. Luckily, it only lasted about 10 or 15 minutes and I worked from my phone for the team to know what else to do. But I was like, punt and pivot.
Yep. Ebb and flow or flow,
Yeah.
flow. Don't
Oh my
jump.
gosh. Oh, we definitely understand cyber frustration, my friends. So all of you joining us live or certainly on the replay to our Doc and Queenie community. I'm telling you what, the internet is fun when it works. And it's a teensy bit of a challenge when it don't work. So
Yes.
hope you will not take a hammer to your machine, Doc.
No, I had to make a little minute change on my website for my mobile part of it.
Oh, yeah.
And I lost half of the content. And then
Oh,
yeah. So, but I did find it. And I don't know how it went away. Maybe that philosophy of pushing a button. Maybe it pushed a little too many buttons. I don't know.
oh my gosh. Yeah, that ain't fun. I can tell you what. And honestly, I keep thinking about all the different things that we get to do. Now, think about this honestly. Live and in-person meetings, super fun. Coffee dates, absolutely. But everything that we do on the internet, I was talking about this in another group later this morning, about your personality shines through. And the people feel that they're behind a screen, so you don't have to this or don't have to that. I literally had an experience where the lady was obviously distracted, but her face was just like that kind of thing. And that'll probably be the thumbnail that YouTube picks up to save this recording. But honestly, she was just like this. And I don't know what she was looking at or what she was trying to fix, and I'm always very aware of that because these cameras are on, hello. And especially when the recordings are on, and I always think, oh my gosh, what if you were looking in the mirror right now or somebody else was seeing that particular face, or somebody decided to do a screenshot to take a picture for the group and say, look how many people we had today. 86 people are on this call, and they'd see this picture of her going like that.
That'll scare you away.
Yeah. Yeah, so the internet is lots of fun, but oh my gosh, you got to be careful, my friends.
Yep. I have a whole great big list today, Queenie, of national days of.
Oh my gosh, now that's fun. All right, who would think June 6th would be a record breaker, but let's do it.
Well, today, June 6th is D-Day.
Oh my God.
For our country, which that was that basically, it's kind of like Memorial Day, honoring those people that sacrificed and fought during World War II, but it marks the end of World War II. I don't have any other backgrounds because of my computer or my website, I should say. I should clarify that. It's National Applesauce Cake Day. Do you like applesauce, Queenie? No, even if it's unsweetened?
It's not a good fit for me. If I'm going to eat an apple, it's going to be a crisp, unsweet, non-sugary situation.
Granny Smith? What about Granny Smith unsweetened applesauce? Or is it the texture?
Maybe the texture. I just don't see a reason to smush up apples when you can eat them raw.
Well, actually, in baking, you can substitute it. You can substitute oil for applesauce or vice versa.
Okay.
I know you needed to know that. I know
The next time I bake something, I will give you a call.
we will let everyone, it'll be a national, well, okay.
National Day of Queenies in the K room. Okay, we can do
Better
that.
be quiet or I'm gonna get in big trouble. National Drive-In Movie Day. I know of one drive-in just south of where I live, and I'm not sure if, I think they're still open.
Wow, I haven't been to a drive-in movie probably since college. That's just a couple of days ago, but so yeah, holy moly, drive-in movie day.
Yes, National Eyewear Day. National Gardening. Yeah, National Gardening Exercise Day. I can try and find a garden picture. There we go. We'll just throw that up there.
Oh, no, that's beautiful. Okay, so you exercise in your garden, is that what that means?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Gardening is good for your aerobics and your cardio and whatever else, that people.
If lawn mowing counts as gardening, I'm very good at cardio.
Well, that's a cardio. Yeah, you're counting your steps.
Yep, I definitely am. It's
National Higher Education Day.
Beautiful.
National Yo-Yo Day.
I'm actually trying to think. I wonder if I still own a yo-yo.
I used to play jacks and I used to have a yo-yo, even though I'm just 25. My mom liked to.
I was a jack master, my friend.
I would have challenged you, of course, on that because I was not too bad myself.
Did you play with rubber balls or golf balls?
Rubber.
Right. The inside of a golf ball, FYI, is fantastic, and so is the outside. But that jacks, and I rubbed the end of my hand from scooping all the jacks up, and then of course the picking and all that stuff. Yeah, I was
scoop it, drop. Yep. I used to spend almost every day after school at a girlfriend's house, and we would play jacks for hours.
Yeah, we played jacks or Monopoly or something with all the neighborhood kids, and our household was kind of the hub. So if you didn't like what was going on, go somewhere else, or roller skating. We roller skated all over it. We lived across from a great big church school parking lot.
I never learned to roller skate. I was on my skateboard. My sister would roller skate. I mean, I can ice skate. I've tried roller skates once, and I tried the inline skates, and I'm like, that's too much. And I tried it as an adult.
Oh gosh.
And it was.
I'm sure I would break something badly if I tried.
I didn't like the stopping on it.
Yeah.
That of course we're going up a hill, and then I'm like, oh darn, now I got to go down the hill, and I'm gonna kill myself here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good fit. And think about the stuff that we did as kids. This hill always reminds me of danger. At the bottom of this hill, we're in a parking lot. Here's the church, here's the school, a great big hill in between, and traffic is going like that's what it's for. Go to church or go to school, turn right or turn left. We had a person at the bottom of the hill to go, yeah, it's okay, come on. Oh, well, not yet, like that.
As you're midway down.
Yes, you're coming down the hill in metal roller skates, hello skate key. And all of a sudden they go, oops, not yet, a car's coming. And I'm like, you know what? How we didn't get totally killed in that hill is beyond me.
Well, we had the monster of a hill. It was our neighborhood, and my sister and my sister is 2 years younger. She would either be on roller skates or I'd be on the skateboard. And we had bikes that had banana seats.
I remember those.
I had a yellow sparkly banana seat. I think that was other than the skateboard, those were the last two things that I owned other than my shirt that were yellow. But we used to tie the jump rope on the back of the banana seat and then just ride and it was a very long hill, and it was a main thoroughfare. Yeah, I'm like you said, a lot of times I would just dive into people's front yards. It was easier on your knees.
Yeah, try not to break your neck, but thank goodness for green grass back then.
Unless you hit a rock, and then you have there's no hope.
That's why I say no helmets, no elbow pads and wrist guards and all the things the kids have nowadays. And I look at all this to get geared up. It's kind of like when you dress a kid for snow to go out and play. By the time you've got them all dressed and loaded up to not freeze to death, what do they have to do? Yeah. And then you have to reload them back up again, put them out in the snow. They're too cold. They come back in 5 minutes. It's like, what? And the same thing with the rollerblades and the headgear and all the stuff for the bikes. We want you to use those things, absolutely. But it's back to that same drill. We didn't have that back then. And it is just amazing, and only God that we are still alive.
Well, we lived right, we were backed up to a park, so we would leave
Yeah.
first thing in the morning to go play, and the rule was when the sun starts setting, then you come home.
Can
So
you
we were all
imagine,
over the place. Yeah,
imagine letting your kid loose these days in a park, in the backyard, for heaven's
Yeah.
sake? You think
Yeah.
any of my babies are going out in the backyard without Gigi out there? You're nuts. And
I wouldn't want to cross Gigi, no.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, this is like pit bull land over here, but I just think, OMG, I couldn't even imagine that. And yeah, our thing was the street lights, but I think it was either a cowbell or a whistle, and I can't believe I can't remember that. But by golly, when you heard that whistle, if you weren't on the front porch in 10 seconds, your life was over.
Yes. We had a neighbor that had a big bell, and we would,
Yeah,
they
see, I can't remember. I can't remember actually. And then my dad could whistle, like with your fingers, you go, and that whistle pierced the sky. And so I think, but like I say, if you weren't on the porch by the time the 10 seconds was up, that was the end of you. And so, but all the neighbors, I mean, everybody, it was just kind of a great big huge tribe, and it was super fun. We had enough for dodgeball and all kinds of different sporting type activities. So there were plenty of kids in the neighborhood.
enough for football.
Yeah.
Baseball. Yep.
Yeah. I was always the quarterback for the football stuff because my aim was pretty right on. And of course
And you could see.
yeah, I could see over everybody, which was probably helpful too. So yeah, it's just amazing to think of the stuff that they don't do now because of either rules or timing and neighbor. And think about this. Do you know your neighbors? And if you know your neighbors, do the kids come over to play with each other and all that stuff? Probably not. And so you play in your sports teams, or you play in your whatever your group or organization is, but maybe not just neighborhood play group stuff as much as back in the day.
Even when my kids were growing up a little bit, because all the kids on our street are the same age, but once they hit like middle school, then it died down
Yeah.
pretty much.
And then everybody gets so busy. I see the schedules of these families now, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh, it's incredible.
Oh my gosh. And how do you get anybody together for any type of family gathering stuff when this family's going here and this family's, it just seems like a lot to me.
Yes. Well, and then I've got one more thing. It's not necessarily, well, actually there's two. World Pest Day. So we
Pest Day?
Pest,
Wow.
yes.
Okay, I anticipate that's varmint of some kind. I don't want any varmint.
Well, they have pictures of bugs, so you probably don't. I didn't, want to do that. Kind of grosses me out anyway.
Oh
so.
yeah, that's not my favorite.
And then what do we do with this one, Queenie? It's Wit Monday. I mean, because that can go both ways. You could be a dimwit, or you could be full of wit, which is not negative, of course. And I always attach wit to like you see it in sense of humor. You see people that have a dry wit or a dry sense of humor.
I'm instantly thinking of Kansas City Royals with Whit Merrifield or Bobby Witt Jr. Those are our two stars right now, which is kind of fun. I don't even ask the stats. You don't want to know. But for wit, I think of, I would probably think of electrified wit personality more than I would think of dimwit probably.
Yeah.
I think a lot in terms of personality. And one of the meetings I just had a few minutes ago, actually, we were talking about energy in the room. And obviously for me, many times wit or excitement or personality kind of revs up the room, or certainly if it goes the other direction, it can tear down the room. So yes. Wit and standing on your feet, thinking on your feet kind of thing is a big deal.
Yes. So that was quite a bit today. Usually we only have 3 or 4, but we made some good ones.
There were some awesome ones this week, as a matter of fact. One of our friends in Australia actually posts all the time International Day of, and so it was Donut Day, and that was fun to see. But like I say, my teeth hurt when I hear the donut stuff, because sometimes that is enough to kill you. Good job for all the donut companies out there, but ew. And then what is the other? Cheese. And it made me think of our friend Jody Giroux in Menominee, Wisconsin, with her Eau Claire Cheese Company. Because of
pronounced that correctly. You did very good there, Queenie.
Thank you very much. And so when she sent us the chocolate cheese gift package thing that she did a couple years ago, and that was super fun. And so National Cheese Day would be super fun as well, because I know that you're not supposed to eat cheese, but it's back to that same drill. You have taught us so much about moderation. Go ahead and have a truffle, go ahead and have tiramisu, go ahead and have something. It just doesn't need to be your daily driver.
Right. 80-20, I guess you could say. I
Yeah.
try to do 90-10, but yeah, no, cheese from Wisconsin. I've had upstate New York cheese and it's good, but there's just something about Wisconsin cheese. It's probably whatever the cows are eating. So
Oh, and I was just going to ask that. I didn't know what makes the difference in some cheese being fabulous and some cheese being, I ain't never touching that again.
I had a lot of cheddars when I was up in upstate New York, with all of different things that they added. And it was, if you like, I like a pungent cheese. I don't like, well, of course there's the chocolate cheese was actually, it wasn't really sweet.
I didn't think it was at
Good.
all. I could actually handle it.
Good.
Yeah.
But I'm
didn't
like
that.
a Roquefort or a blue cheese or Swiss, or, the stinkier the better. How about you, Queenie?
Swiss or jalapeno would be my first cheese. That's my favorite of all. Second would be Swiss. I don't know if I have anything really after that. I've had Gouda cheeses before, and there's one that's called smoked bacon or some kind of, it's got a brown wax wrapper thing on it. I'm not a connoisseur necessarily, but jalapeno would be my first, and then Swiss would be my second, probably.
Gotcha.
I don't think I've ever eaten Roquefort cheese, but Roquefort dressing and blue cheese sprinkle things in it, I could handle that.
Roquefort to me is very similar to blue cheese.
Okay.
It's got that, it's a pungent kind of,
Okay.
it's stinky, old shoe smell.
Oh gosh, well, I can't imagine going that direction, but that I don't know if there would be such a thing as sweet. Cheddar wouldn't do much for me, and mozzarella, I guess only on pizza, but
Mozzarella with an antipasta kind of tray.
Yeah.
Like
any
a
kind of
baby mozzarella.
olive oil and things like that, and garlic, of course. So I could probably go that route. Now, garlic cheese, I have smashed garlic into mozzarella to top my cauliflower pizza crust with that whole mess. And so red onion and red pepper and garlic, and then mozzarella cheese with cauliflower crust. That's my nirvana. And mushrooms. Yeah, that would be my go-to. And I know that you like sausage and all.
Sausage, yep. Which I know just makes your hair curl.
Kind of, yeah. The funny thing for me is that you have mentioned before that you're such a meat lover. And did you say one time that your family made their own sausage?
Yeah, my mother used to make Italian sausage, sweet fennel sausage, which there's different kinds. My grandfather used to make it. He had they called it a snack shop. It was like a little mini restaurant on the corner in downtown Chicago. People would come for lunch, and so he'd make sausage, Italian sausage for sandwich. So yeah, my mom did. I actually had my mother's meat grinder, which was made out of wrought iron, and it probably weighed 20, 25 pounds. There was I'm trying to think of the thing that you screw down, clamp on the bottom of it that you needed 3 to 4 inch thick. My countertops are not that, plus I don't eat a lot of pork. I'll eat sausage if somebody else makes it, and that's the way my family always made it, was totally with pork. So
I'm only going to say this because I know the people who I will be talking about are no longer with us, but my grandmother, when you were talking about the grinding thing, and I think I actually still own it, which is hysterical, which means it's been in one of my kitchen cabinets for 27 years since I've been in this house. But nobody wants to get rid of the stuff that has the memories, I guess. And so this grinder thing, very wrought iron, very metal, very heavy, very clanky. And it had suction cups on the bottom of these 4 legs.
Wow.
And you suction cup that to your kitchen counter. Oh, and she took ham and bologna. Neither of which is anywhere close to my top 500 things I would choose to
And
eat,
grind it together?
ground it up, and it made ham sandwiches because you put pickles and oh my, and she did sweet pickles. I remember that because then she poured sweet pickle juice on it to make it mushier, and then she served it on little circle dollar size or what are those little rolls called? Egg
A
roll
Melba toast or?
something, little tea. No, this was actually bread-ish. So these would be like what I would call dinner rolls kind of, and they'd just be little
Kind of like a little baguette or
yeah,
something.
kind of, yeah. But I remember that's what she ground all the time. And so sometimes the kids would help. Can you come over here and grind this? And she'd keep shoving stuff into this grinder. And I just remember smelling the ham and the bologna stuff. And I was like, if I live through this, I will be so grateful. But it was minced ham sandwiches is what she called it. And like I say, I think the sweet pickle juice and all that stuff killed it for me on top of that. But I can remember the taste and all of that because it was way too sweet for me, first of all. But anyway, ham and bologna are not even on my top 500 of what I would ever choose to eat.
Yep.
Yeah, that grinder, I really bet I still have it. That's hysterical. And obviously I've used it a lot. So can you just imagine? Oh my
Well, maybe I'll come over to your house and we can make some sausage.
Oh yeah, that'll happen too.
Yeah, you'll see Doc and Queenie starting, and then you'll see you take off.
Yeah.
Oh, Queenie has left the room. I guess
Queenie
I'll
has
show you
left
what
the
I'm
room
doing
for the
here.
rest of the day. Oh my gosh.
Isn't it funny what we remember? It's
Oh,
always
yeah.
funny what you remember.
It seriously is. And as soon as you said the grinder with the clamping thing down and you had to twist the handle and all this stuff, and I just
Oh, it was just, it's major, and it had discs, real big discs.
yes. And it,
You
you
know, you
determine what came out of the grinder as far as how big or how small, but this minced stuff was fine. And oh my gosh. Minced ham sandwich and these little circle rolls. And I was just,
I don't think I've ever had a minced ham sandwich. I've had a loose meat sandwich, but I have not had a minced ham.
what is the content of loose?
Beef.
Okay.
Beef. It's just kind of shredded.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, and speaking of, I can't remember, I think it was this weekend sometime, as a matter of fact. They were talking about the big dozier at Royal Stadium, Kauffman Stadium here in Kansas City. And that was the fair for one of the games. And Hunter Dozier obviously is one of our star players. And so they did, the whole list was incredible. Like, let's say pulled pork, provolone cheese, onion straws, focaccia bread, all of this lottie-dottie-da stuff all the way listed. And it was so many layers of stuff. Now, I always think, honestly, you've got a sandwich this high. How in heaven's name do you sandwich eat that thing?
You can.
And,
You
I mean,
can.
there's no
You're
way.
wearing most of it.
Right. And you've got to tear it apart, I would think. And they didn't show pictures of people eating that stuff necessarily, but it was like Hunter Dozier Day. And so they did the big dozier at the stadium. But I was like, wow. But
That's funny.
describing it because they wanted everybody there. And of course, the au jus and all this stuff. And I was like, OMG. And I think that is one of the Joe's barbecue KC or whatever they call it now, is one of the big fairs for them. And I thought, wow, I bet that was a big hit, because even the announcers were saying, we can smell the barbecue wafting over here. And I thought, I bet you can. And wouldn't that be killer to have to sit in barbecue smoke smell and not be able to have whatever they're fixing?
Oh God, yeah, that's torturous. That's torturous.
Mm-hmm. It's just amazing the things, honestly, that you think of. And then, like I say, the onion straws, that thing had to be this high. I don't know how you would even work that out, especially at a ballpark, for heaven's sakes. It's not
Gosh, yeah, there's no room.
and knives and all that stuff that you would.
Where do you set it? You know, like, whoops, sorry to dump it on your head. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's
no.
to me.
So
was Shawnee Community Days this weekend? I'm trying to think, unless that was last week.
I want to say it's right about this time. I just
because that was advertised also. And one of our super duper friends, Donna Follick, was introduced. She was interviewed on the news, actually, and it was super fun to see her, because she said, yeah, I used to bring my kids here. So that was also fun. But like I say, so much has happened in the last couple of days. I can't remember if it was this weekend or last weekend, but it was super fun to see everybody back out in the fair atmosphere and people getting to see each other again. That was cool.
Now, if it would stop raining, we'll be fine.
And And that's why I was actually going to ask you about. I know that last week you talked about your garden and your community garden at your church. And I thought, how is it? I literally have been mowing between raindrops, and I can't imagine how you're doing the gardening stuff with all this rain that we've had.
I have to wait 3 days for it to dry out and then it rains. So actually I got a little time in on Saturday, a couple of hours, and was able to plant eggplant plants.
Okay.
And what else did I plant? Taiwan yard long green beans. So those will be about 36 inches long.
Holy moly.
And those are cool because they're very invasive, but we've got that huge arch that I planted them in front of, so that's perfect. And they taste like green beans. They're just really good.
I was going to actually ask you about that. So what did you call it?
The beans that they're yard long.
Yard long.
Beans.
Okay. So literally you chop them up and saute them like you would green beans?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
I always potato towers doing.
They have sprouted and they seem to be doing fine. Have no idea until the plants basically die, and then we'll dump them, and hopefully we had potatoes. That was a 100% experiment this year, so we'll see.
When the plant dies is when the potatoes ready?
Yep.
Oh wow.
They bloom and then they die, they start dying off, and at that time is when I say pick the potatoes, but yeah, you dig for the potatoes. It's fun. It's kind of like a treasure hunt. Like, let's see what we're gonna get. And every year for me, it's different.
Oh, wow. What else are you planting or trying to plant?
Well, I planted some seeds that I'm hoping will sprout and we'll have some fun with. It's a pumpkin called Big Max. Big Max gets a minimum of 100 pounds. So, and I planted 12 plants because I've got the room. So we will see. I'm excited about that. I've grown pumpkins, big ones before, and my record for myself was 55 pounds. And that was like, I put it on my front porch. I had to roll it through my backyard because I couldn't pick it up.
No way.
So yeah, that was fun. That was fun. So I'm hoping we'll get some big Macs out of this. We'll see.
Wowza, wowza, wowza. Let's see, you planted broccoli, cauliflower, other stuff.
Broccoli,
things.
Yep. They're all the cauliflower is doing fantastic. Broccoli, not so well. Cabbage, I haven't seen any heads yet. So we will see.
And what about the corn? You said you were doing tons of corn.
Corn, we've got 3 rows up, and that's about 450 stalks right now. And there's always, have you heard the phrase knee high by the 4th of July? Have you heard that?
No.
Okay, well, usually it's good when they're knee high by the 4th of July. Well, they're knee high already. So all of this rain has been great for the corn. We have 2 more rows that are coming up, and we have 2 more rows to plant. So we are going to probably have a corn fest, a community corn fest, I think.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, I really mean it. For those of you who have suffered because of the rain, flooding and things like that, of course, that's awful. But I, of course, am looking at it as free water. And even though it's tiptoe between the raindrops to get my lawn mowed, it's obviously I can live through it. But one time there was so much rain, by the time it actually stopped, I was like thinking, this is 12 inches of grass here, my friends. And that was rough because it grew so fast. And by the time it dried out enough so the mower didn't sink in, it was too high. And so I'm very meticulous, but that didn't work.
Yeah, and I had somebody the other day, now we're battling the weeds because we haven't had the chance to get in there. You're walking in a mud puddle and most of it is clay. So now we're battling the weeds, and I had somebody say, how about, grass clippings, which I have been saving. Well, they wash away when we've had 17 inches of rain so far this year. Our average at this point is about 10. So yeah, and we're getting more rain tonight, I do believe. The last time I looked at the weather forecast, it goes all the way till Friday. And I'm like,
gonna say, yeah, I saw the next couple of days. Oh my gosh.
So, it's like you say, punt and pivot. We will just keep planting, and maybe we will finish. My goal is by the end of the month to have everything in. I don't know if that'll be true. Plus now we're starting to replant things that have died from being waterlogged. So it's
Okay,
just the
hang
way
on
it
a
is.
second. Replant
Yes.
things, which means you have to get new seeds of whatever that croaked.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So take it out of where it was and put a new seed in there and hope it takes over better.
Yeah, I lost a whole bunch of zucchini plants, which I was not
Ah.
happy with because that's one of my favorites. So
So what
yeah.
happens to the dead plant? Like you recycle it in weed stuff, or what happens to that?
Yeah, I just throw it in the compost pile and it'll break down and become compost. So yeah, and that's what we try to do, is recycle that also. So yeah.
Wow. Well, I will say, and I this is always funny to me, but you certainly don't let any grass grow under your feet, Dr. Laura, from a standpoint of all the work that you do. But it is so cool to see the community garden, the fruits of your labor and veggies. And it really is, your Instagram reels and all of those things have been so awesome, basically to follow you around on your journey with having an acre to plant. I can't even wrap my head around something that big.
It's great. Yeah, it's a challenge, and I've been gardening all my life. It's a challenge, but yeah, no, in talking about social media, I hit a top, I guess, accolade for this Instagram Reels this week.
What is
And
it?
I have to laugh because you know how we've talked about, you post something on water or eating healthy and nobody pays any attention. And then you post, I don't know, I can't even think of something, but I posted a reel on Instagram and I'm inviting everybody to go look. It's a great picture, actually. It's out where I do the acre, but it's on the back end of the property. And I did just a pan, and there's the lake, and it was beautiful day, perfect day. This was, I think, Thursday or Friday. And I got 143 likes. I think it was 143 likes. Yeah, 143 likes. I never get more than 5 or 7 or sometimes 10. And I was just like, wow. So I'm always trying to figure it out, Queenie. I'm always trying to figure it out.
But that is
So
exactly the deal. Do people want to talk about wellness journey and hydration levels and blah, blah, blah? No.
no.
But they want to see a gorgeous lake and fishing, and of course, me falling into the lake. Yes. And so it's just a funny thing what attracts people to your post. That's for sure.
And speaking of water, you've got something coming up tomorrow night at 7 p.m. So I hear.
Yes, I do. We have a water workshop every month on the first Tuesday evening, 7 o'clock Central, and we'll send you the Zoom ID if anyone is interested in attending. We talk about everything. If you already own a machine, you certainly can ask questions about what do I this, how do I that? And then, of course, our filter sale is this month, which happens usually twice a year. We can't ever predict it, but for the 14 years I've been in business, we've always had a filter sale in December, and they added June to us, I think, maybe 10 years ago, which was fun because December was killing the office, trying to get zillions of filters out just from a shipping standpoint. And so now it breaks it up a little to have it June and December because it's huge for the company and everybody needs filter sales and everybody wants to save money. So that part is easy. But anyway, the water workshop is just something that I help people with as far as either how to sell a machine if you want to learn that, or how to work your machine if you're not clear on that and you didn't read the instruction manual, or you want to learn how to get your own. So we go over absolutely everything. Water is
It's a great
simple.
time. It's really great information that you teach. And I mean, I
Well,
think
thank
you
you.
know what
And
you're
it's
talking
awesome
about.
it's awesome to have you there because you are so good at explaining how you do your fruits and veggie cleaning before you make your smoothies, before you do all the things that a lot of people do in their K room. And it's just nice to have someone to bounce it off of, especially with your naturopathic training and education, to be able to share that with the team is pretty awesome.
Well, we make a good team, don't we, Queenie?
I think we do, Doc.
So, all right. Well, guess what? I think I'm
Oh
looking at
my gosh. It's almost like we just get started and you do the National Day of and we get to hear about your,
Oh,
and then we got to go. Got to go.
I was going to talk about punt and pivot, but we kind of did already. We kind of punted and pivoted between ourselves, and
There you go.
and my theme also was just going to be being thankful.
Oh my
Thankful
God.
every day for everything we have. It's great that we can talk about all the foods that we like or don't like, or go to the ballpark, or be able to garden and cut our grass. I mean, it can go all the way down to I'm thankful I've got clothes to wear and that I can see.
It's always, yeah, seriously. And I always wake up and it's like, thank you, God, I can walk and breathe at the same time. A lot of people actually can't say that. And so it is a matter of being grateful for the little things. And I always am actually, in fact, I'm sure the neighbors think I am a little bit nuts. I'm usually when I'm out cutting the grass, and I'm sure they're going, because of course the guys are out there going, God, or they're making their kids do it or whatever that looks like. And I'm just grateful, that my lawn is gorgeous. Thank you, Lord, for the rain, but also that I am able to mow my own yard, because it's a mile, by the way, by the time you do up, down, up, down, up, down, front, back, that kind of thing. And it takes me about 40 minutes. So it works out fantastic as far as being outside, sunshine, all that stuff. And I really do love it. And I'm sure they're going to lock me up someday, but it's super fun to be able to thank you, God, for grass when these guys are going, yeah, this grows so fast. And I'm usually excited that mine grows.
Well, and we're thankful, we are thankful for our faithful friends on purpose.
Yes.
And we are thankful when we get to do Guest Live. We've got a fantastic faithful friend coming in on, I do believe it's Friday. So
make sure about that Kathy Weaver has her act together. What do you think? Oh my gosh, 12:15.
Yes, at noon.
We do. I'm excited.
So and like we always say, if you would like to do a guest spot, it's 15 to 20 minutes. Anything you want to talk about. If you want to talk about your business, fine. If you don't, fine. If you just want to talk to us, that's great too. We'll talk. But
I'm sure we can come up with subject matter.
Yeah, I'm sure we can come up with something. It's a great time to highlight who you are as a person and your business. And then we give you, or I should say, Queenie gives you a YouTube that you can post all over your social media to show people, give them a little blurb about your business and what a great person you are. So let us know, either reach out to Queenie, KathyWeaverKC.com or DocKitchenGardenExpert.com. And as everybody that are regulars here know, we're all over social media, which would be, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. You're on Twitter. I am not. Instagram. And do we have anything new we're going to add?
I don't know about new, but I do have Pinterest and Alignable and Eventbrite and different places like that. So Meetup, of course. So if you're not on social media platforms to be findable, you might keep the people who are there religiously, maybe, from finding you. So I always ask, where did you find me? And I never know what the answer is going to be, but many times it has something to do with social media.
Yep. I'm looking at Pinterest and I'm looking at TikTok. I'm getting ready, Queenie. I had a few goals I hit that I was working on that I've hit. So those are finished. So now I move on to the next item.
Well, I can see you on both platforms. You'd be great with Pinterest with all your creative stuff that you do, and certainly amazing with TikTok with your animation. So I can see you on both of those.
We will see. So thank you everyone for joining us, and you can join us also. We've got a Bible trivia on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. We do that every week, I should say. And then join us back here on Mondays at for Doc and Queenie guest live, Facebook Live. It's Monday for Doc. Queenie's fine. Doc's still waking up. I know it's noon, but In the meantime, have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic and blessed week. We hope to see you on Thursday. If not, we'll see you right back here next Monday. Bye, Queenie.
Bye, Doc. Thank you all for joining us. Bye,
everyone. Bye-bye.